So, this video is about Beyond Good and Evil. And no, not the Nietzsche book, which I don't think I finished it, but I did read a bit of it. It was a decent book. Excuse me, real quick. And you can look at this as embracing Judaism versus Nazism. This is how I perceive it. This is how I am integrating the information. So, for me, choosing Nazism would be choosing the good thing to do, the right thing to do, which there's no hope of winning by doing the morally correct thing, which is what the Nazis did. They had the moral high ground, and now they're dead. This is not the first time throughout history this has happened. Wars are not won by morals. People lose wars by being moral, not just the Nazis. Judaism is embracing evil. And in that context, I mean embracing legal marijuana and pornography, trans kids, Black Lives Matter, like all these horrible, evil things that are being pushed on society and therefore thriving in the age of corruption instead of enduring it while suffering. And what's contributing to this thought isn't just the anticipation of the fact that they are going to legalize it federally because they don't give a fuck about the lives the cannabis industry destroys. They only care about money. You can talk till you're blue in the face about the suicides, the homicides, the vehicular fatalities, the assaults, the rapes, the robberies, all in cannabis-induced psychosis or over cannabis, but it won't stop them. Nothing short of a bullet in the head will stop them. So, the government's corrupt, etc., etc., etc. And with that, we have an assignment on critical thinking about media. And we're supposed to find a media clip with falsified research, where the media misportrays research. And it turns out that it was wrong. Now, Judaism has a prohibition against gullibility that very specifically says instead of just believing a rumor without questioning it, it's best to wait and see the truth. So I had two major choices that I could make. One was the George Floyd incident. George Floyd died of a drug overdose death. He was not killed by Derek Chauvin. Derek Chauvin did not cause his death. So that's one example of media lying and misportraying research. The other one is marijuana. The media is portraying it as harmless. They are downplaying the harms and also lying and falsifying the benefits. I couldn't really stomach watching the marijuana videos. It was disgusting. It just made me want to commit suicide or homicide. It pisses me off that bad. So I went with George Floyd and saw that Derek Chauvin was stabbed. All Derek Chauvin did was show up to work. That's all he's guilty of. Showing up to work like a good man doing the right thing and doing his job. He didn't force George Floyd to ingest 3 times the lethal amount of fentanyl. George Floyd did that to avoid detection and avoid more charges. It's on video. That's one of the biggest lies that I can think of. There's others from the media. So, choosing the good thing, the right thing to do would be to stick to the truth and speak the truth no matter the consequences. That isn't reversing the damage that's been done by these corrupt politicians, Black Lives Matter, etc. That isn't reversing all the money that went to blacks that they didn't deserve just because a black overdosed it on drugs while being arrested. That isn't reversing Derek Chauvin's wrongful conviction and his wrongful stabbing. So, being moral has no reward in our corrupt society. Now, Judaism means being evil. But what is evil, right? This is a question I've posed on social media: is it more moral to die out of loyalty or survive through betrayal? For example, you and a friend are hiking in the woods and there's a bear and it's going to kill one of you or both of you. It starts attacking your friend. Do you run while it's busy and live, or try to help your friend and die? 2 deaths instead of 1. Same if a great white shark is attacking, your daughter, your son, somebody you love, etc. Do you jump in the water or not? This just proves moral subjectivity, in my opinion. But was it moral for Jews to orchestrate World War II? And World War II was applied eugenics. It wasn't just depopulation of Jews and Germans and Europeans. There was 30 million Chinese that died, 4 million Bengalis were starved to death by Winston Churchill, etc., etc., etc. So was it actually more moral to do what was evil? Right, a sinful goal with a pious act. Population reduction has its benefits. And if marijuana is being used for population reduction, which it clearly is having that effect, but it's also having other effects. It's a multi-faceted thing. So another effect would be making people more psychologically manipulatable, more psychologically malleable and easier to manipulate for things like immigration and LGBTQ agendas and, etc., etc., etc. So my natural instinct, perhaps from the Spanish Catholic upbringing, is to oppose these things aggressively with every ounce of my being, knowing that that will significantly be self-destructive to my life, because those who are evil have the money and the power. They're called the establishment. Judaism means just shutting your mouth, controlling yourself, and being sneaky and clever about it. I like that. I definitely want to choose Judaism over Nazism. But that also means that Jews will betray me as their Shabbos goy, the way they did Trump and everyone else that has, the USS Liberty and the Levant affair, etc. This isn't just the Jews that do this, of course. Betrayal is also a Gentile thing. Power is also a Gentile thing. Lust for power. Right? Sacrificing others for your gain, etc. So I don't know. I want to kind of reactivate my conversion, but now that I've replaced Judaism with violin, I don't really have the time. It looks like I might have an opportunity to get student tutoring through the university. So I might not just have time to convert right now. If they'd even let me back in, it might be too soon. Or at all. They might be like, no, we've seen your YouTube videos.